show me where you want to be and let's back up from there. And let's get you into the path that you can design your own life so you get somewhere close, because it's all about being predictable. It is a AI tsunami coming. You either adapt or you don't adapt, so you have a choice. You'll never be able to replace connection and engagement, that personal connection. And people are going to be starving for it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show Beyond the Claim. Make sure that you understand that you like, subscribe, and follow the show, because wait until you hear about the guest that I have right now, because finally we are getting to a whole other space. But I am Vince Perry, your business broker, entrepreneur, and exit advisor. And we're here to educate you with all kinds of crazy and amazing guests. And this one is really special. We've got Brady Lowe here. Brady, thanks so much for joining the show, man. I'm really excited to have you on. And the reason why is because you're a chef. You're a freaking restaurant guy. Like, you are the taste of the town, if I could say. Welcome, Brady.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you having me join you on a beautiful afternoon.
Yeah, man. So you're the owner of Taste Network. Before we dive in and I start drilling you with my questions, please tell us about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up loving food. I was a little fat kid at heart and really wanted to choose my own adventure. So I only read two types of cookbooks growing up: Choose Your Own Adventure and cookbooks. It was like two things. And literally it was my life for about, my first 20 some years. And then all of a sudden I got into the culinary and education space. I learned hospitality, and Taste Network became this thing of how do you put people in front of new taste and new experiences for the first time? Like the first time you have chocolate cake and the perfect red wine together, and it's just like magical. So it was about pairings and putting people together. And the other side of it was Taste Network was born of this kind of agency model, because I went to school for entrepreneurship and marketing. But it was the stories that my grandma used to say, where she'd always remember stuff. She'd never remember the name of the package or what the product was. It was always like, who's that crazy friend of yours that just drove through the front yard and peeled out all the time? She'd always remember the story, could never remember the name. And that's when I realized that storytelling was going to be the thing that I loved the most. So food, choose your own adventure, and storytelling really became kind of like my educational muse.
I'll take that to another level. I'm a big Joe Dispenza fan. If you don't know who that is, you have to get into this guy. Manifestation, meditation, visualizing your future. And he talks about our memories are not really remembered. They're only remembered when we actually feel something. Like when that memory or that event or that thing actually made you feel a certain way, that's when it actually gets imprinted into your memory and you never really forget it. I can only imagine it's the same thing when you have an amazing experience at a restaurant and you eat something incredible.
It's transformative, right? And the word that I chose back in 2000 was everything else is the imposter. And imposter became the word. And now today, imposter syndrome, right? But it was before, it was like, when you have chocolate cake is the best chocolate cake you've ever had, everything else is an imposter. And when you have those memories that you cling to as this shiny object, then you're just trying to chase the goose again, Yeah.
You want to hear something funny? Well, actually, it's funny that I have you on now. I was going to ask you a question, but actually yesterday I just went to a one-star Michelin sushi restaurant here in Tampa. Wow. I tell people all the time, when people are like, oh, I think I've been to a Michelin restaurant, it's like, no. When you've been to a Michelin star restaurant, because it's not even just the food. It's like a whole experience that you get. And my wife and I, we were in Paris and we were walking all day. We like to walk when we go to different countries instead of taking cars and stuff, because you want to experience. We must have walked 30,000 steps, right? So we're exhausted and we were hungry. And I said, find a restaurant close to us that we could eat. And I told her, I said, price is not an option because we deserve it. We've been walking all day. We're in Paris. Let's go all out. So she picks the $4 sign one or whatever. She's like, this was probably pretty expensive. Let's go. So we get there early. It's probably 5 o'clock. We walk in, right? There's the person that sits you down. It's like you walk into this lobby and they're here. Well, what's funny is that to the left is one restaurant, to the right is the other restaurant. So we walk in and we're like, we want to go to this restaurant. And they look at us because we're not dressed for a Michelin star restaurant. We've been walking all day. And they're like, are you sure you want to go to this one or you want to go to that one? I was kind of insulted and I said, no, we want to go to that one. So we sit down and we're like, all of a sudden, like the experience starts. We had no idea, Brady. We start searching it, looking it up on our phone, and we're like, holy shit, we're in a Michelin star restaurant. And that was our first experience. And we have gone to probably, 7 or 8 different Michelin star restaurants around the world since. And I gotta say, it's like there's nothing better than your first one. And still, they're amazing, but man, that first one was always like one that we will never forget. I love it, man.
They're the best, man. Here's my little fruitcake hack for Michelin star places, just to break the shit at the end of the meal. So you get 2 options. First option is the bill comes, right? And you open it up and you're like, ah! And you just bark out like, holy shit, right?
Yeah.
That's the first one to break the stale in the air.
Yeah.
All around the table, everyone's like, oh, like everyone gets all nervous.
Yeah.
The second one is you open it up and you're like, you slide it back across the server and you're like, it's not big enough yet.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's definitely a hefty price, but it's worth every penny. So tell me about your career. You know what's funny is that what really you reached out to me and we started talking, and I try to be selective really of who I have on the show because, I just want to make it a great show. And the second I saw a restaurant, I thought that was interesting. I've never really talked to anybody in the restaurant industry, but I will tell you a dirty little secret, Brady. I'm a business broker and an exit advisor. So I help businesses, I help people find businesses to buy, and I help businesses sell. Rule number 1, Brady, do not buy a restaurant. It is like, if you are acquiring a company or a first-time company or whatever, they say it is the absolute worst business to buy. Please, what are your thoughts?
Key money. What's the key money? And they're
What's
like,
that?
key money is like how much it costs just to get the keys for them to walk the hell out. So you just buy everything intact, and it's like buying what's Robert Irvine's or Mission Impossible. You know what I mean? You're buying a something that's going down. So it's just key money, and it's like 20 cents on the dollar kind of offer.
So it's bad. So I'm right. It's not good to buy a restaurant.
No, not if you're going at key money. If key money sounds fun to you, you got some work to do, bro.
Yeah.
But if you have the systems and you're an operator and you know how to manage and you know how to get teams in place and inspire and educate, get people moving, then you have, like in any business, I think you're looking for, where can I provide counsel, find the strategic expertise where someone can buy something cheap and make it a lot more than the person who's operating it, right?
Couple things come to mind. I feel like, it's like I could run my company. I have 5 people. I feel like running a restaurant is definitely one of the only businesses that right off the get, you better have some leadership capabilities because you're going to have a whole team like right from the get-go. Yeah,
or have really amazing food and cocktails. And nobody cares because it's just so damn good, And
that's not possible, is it? I mean, service is like part of the thing.
Oh, you've been to some really poor restaurants. I mean, the food and everything is good, but their service is just a whatever man attitude. And
that's not good though.
It's not good, but they're unicorns,
Yeah.
But are they strategic about it, or are they just really that like laissez-faire?
Yeah.
So it's a mixed bag.
Why are restaurants so bad to buy? If you could educate me. So I've literally launched my business like January, February. So I'm actually still new to the business brokering space. I'm educating myself like crazy. So pretend that I'm trying to learn more about the restaurant business. Why? What do I tell somebody who asks me, why are restaurants so bad? Like why? And again, we'll get to the positive stuff. It's just, in every book I read about buying businesses, they talk about don't buy restaurants. I want to get into it real quick.
I mean, it's like, do you want to buy a bed? Like, do you want to go into the bed business because you like sleeping? Mm-hmm. For restaurants, it's like everybody loves food, right? Everybody dreams about the best meal and stuff like that. The people who should be buying restaurants are the ones who don't care about food and eat like rabbit food all day long, and they just care about business.
Like us.
Right? So it's those who are passionate usually have the kiss of death, and it's a miracle, to like get through that with proper leadership skills. Now, here's one trick that I would ask a question if somebody wanted to get into the restaurant purchasing game. How much do you pay your coaches? Who are your coaches? Who's next in your coaching line, right? They don't understand the value. They always heard like 20% of every dollar goes back into marketing and business development for a restaurant or a business. The restaurant underpays by like 3 to 4%, right? I'm saying they're sitting around 3, 4, 5, 6%. Like they don't have margins to go after marketing. So they don't know that game. Now they're not doing it for themselves because individuals who know that they need to put 10 cents of every dollar back in their brain are typically going to scale and grow and develop themselves. But if you're not doing it for your business, you're not doing it for yourself. So it's these little red flags that come up where it's like, yeah, I'm part of the industry. I've been doing this forever. I go out drinking. I stay out late. I can run a restaurant because I've been there since I was high school. Like, sorry, that's not a candidate. That's not a candidate for success, right?
What are the margins like? That was my follow-up question. I want to know what are the margins? 3%? 4%? Gross margins or net margin? That net, right? That's after everything. That's after all.
That's it.
3 to 4%?
For that much work, bro. I look at my friends and I love them and I know a lot of them, but
so 4% is good. So if you're netting 4%, that's good.
You're driving the car. You can't get rid of it. You can't buy a new car. You can't train
it. Well, what's the goal? Like if you look at a company, you go into a restaurant and you help them because that's what you do. Let's face it, you help, you coach. Like if you see 4%, if you see 5% net margins, are you like, bravo, that's good? Or are you like, we got to jack this up to 10? Like, whoa.
If you can find someone doing 15, honestly and consistently, you have an operator, right?
Got it.
Now, if they're cranking 12, 5, 13, 12, 10, 11, like that's still a good boat to ride on. Now it's just about how much debt do they have, you know?
Gotcha. What about gross? Like what's the cost for the food? Like if I pay $20 for a plate of food, like what does that cost them typically?
50%.
Got it.
By the time you're food and beverage, you're 50%. So 30% and about 18, 20% on beverage.
Got it.
So that's your cost. And then you've got overhead, manual, and then 10% on, when someone wants percentage rent, 10%. So a gross, grab at somebody who's really interested in doing the restaurant. So they're like 10% commit, like rent. And you're like, man, I should be at 6. There's a whole lot of money between 6 and 10%.
Yeah.
$2 million in revenue or $10 million in revenue.
Who am I looking for if I've got a business, if I'm listing a restaurant, who do I look for that would want to buy a restaurant? I'm assuming other restaurant owners, but I don't know, you tell me. What about like, what type of person would want to buy a restaurant? Like they better be hungry, not, well, figuratively speaking.
Yeah, they've got time on their hands, and they know how to operate some kind of multi-layered business. It's not easy, I think, if I was looking for someone, I would look for somebody who has a hospitality management group relationship and is surrounded by hospitality group managers, people who know how to operate multi-units, multi-levels, and they know fast service to fine dining, and they know everything in between, right? So I think you're looking for people who have that kind of network around them and, at least a decade of wins, Now, I'm not saying that like somebody who lost 4 restaurants is not like a candidate because they've definitely learned a lot more than somebody who just wins all day long. So
what is this that you have here? Tell me, I want to know more about you, Brady. I'm looking at my notes here. I know you've been doing this for a long time, this Taste Network, huh?
Yep, 20 some years.
Tell me about it.
Right now we're just sitting right around, 3, every year, and we have about 450 wine clients across Europe and Spain. So we represent like huge campaigns. So we do everything from websites to social media. I'm like that creative energy force, right? Like I can see the vision and I can get you there. If you come to me with, let's say $500,000 and a new product for next year, my agency can help you see what a 3-year, 5-year legacy plan is. So when you said vision architect, what the hell is that? That's what it is. I want to see you look backwards 5 years from now as a client and say, what's your house look like? What does your car smell like? What details, what's your day look like? Where's your wife? What is she doing? Who are you hanging out with? Like, what's your tribe? Like, show me where you want to be and let's back up from there. And let's get you into the path that you can design your own life so you get somewhere close, because it's all about being predictable, right? And there's enough breadcrumbs in the universe around marketing and advertising and experts and bullshit that everybody has what they can say they can do best. But I think it's really important that you look at the client who is going to be with you for the next 3 to 5 years and how do you help them get to their goals. So Taste Network, that's what I love doing. And the stuff that we're good at is building events too. So I have a marketing agency on the event side. So we host some of the most elevated food and wine experiences during F1, the Food and Wine Classic in Aspen, which is like the Super Bowl full culinary events every summer in Aspen, which is Food and Wine Magazine .dash. So we sit in these really unique spaces. I do like big live fire culinary experiences. I had a 20-city tour doing 20,000 guests a year, 1,000 different sponsors. We were doing 3 million in just tickets and sponsorships. And I learned that talk. I learned the game, like activation, guest experience, everything from the moment that you smell the door handle of walking into an experience to the moment that somebody taps you on the shoulder. You got to go look at the bathrooms. The bathrooms are the cutest things that you've ever seen. They make you leave the table to the moment you leave and how you feel. Like that is experiential marketing. And that is what I've been like soaking up with as much wine and bourbon as possible in the last 25 years.
That's awesome. So you're really trying to create an experience that they will never forget.
Yep.
Like I said, with the Joe Dispenza thing, like when you're only going to remember the things where an actual emotion was felt. The only dish that I'm going to remember from last night was this little, it was called tom yum. Obviously it wasn't a soup, but it had this little, it looked like an egg, but it was like a merengue, right? And then it had, the stuff in it. Whatever it was, it transported me to fucking Thailand. We've been twice. We spent a month there one time.
We did our honeymoon there. I love that place, man.
It's awesome, right? But this little, Brady, it was this tiny thing. It was like tiny, right? And it transported me to Thailand. And that's something that I'm never going to forget of that entire meal. And it's just pretty amazing. What is your process when you're trying to make that kind of impact in an event on people? Because that's ultimately your goal, right? It's got to be memorable and unforgettable.
Yeah, it's for me. It gets into a little bit of what a new word that I've like really applied to is standards. You have your standards, your non-negotiables, the things that you believe that, this is what my ID is. This is my identity, right? And it's things that I won't give up on because as a guest, I know it's important to me to have that one single bite that makes me think that this is the place that I was supposed to be here for this moment today. And I want to make sure that that happens. And everyone else who fights against that guest moment is not on the right team. And that's the most important element, is to know that you're surrounding yourself people who can do it, who believe you, trust you. And that takes a lot of time to build that. But you work back from the thing that you want to spend your money on, right? If you want to go to an event and you want to charge someone $600, the bar is up there, bro. Like, right? I mean, like, what do you expect for $600 a ticket? Like, you want some, so I have to dig for that. And I'm like, and sometimes you could reach and people are applauding, and sometimes you reach and you hit the wall a little bit.
So some of your clients, are they like Formula One? Like, is it Formula One that's asking you to put on a Formula One party? Is it like is it a winery that's asking you? Like, how does that work?
So Formula One, we partner up with V Foundation, which is Victory Over Cancer. They're our beneficiary. I have a client type, which is One Hotel, which is they're planning to be like the most sustainable hotel group in the world with a hockey puck or a hockey stick style trajectory. I love that. They're worldwide. We align on the sustainability initiative. So I got a host venue partnership. I got Formula One as the weekend, and then I got EV Foundation, which is ESPN Disney, and that. And so I just smash all this stuff together, and then I bring all the culinary and the chefs and the sponsors. So I set the room, and then once the room is set, typically we're good. Like we've covered our cost. And as soon as the room is set, then we start adding the benefit and bonus and the sexy part and the transformational shit. And that's where I can geek out, And some people are like, dude, like, where do you come up with this shit?
Can you give me an example? I'm a visual person. Like I tell my team all the time, like if they're explaining to me an idea, like I need to see it, either show me or help me visualize it. Can you visualize one of your experiences, one of your events?
So I started this culinary tour called Koshan 555. 5 chefs, 5 pigs, 5 winemakers, friendly competition for a cause. I had the extreme privilege to walk around the country, 20 cities a year, telling chefs, please come cook a whole pig at my event. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? 225-pound whole animal gets dropped off from a small family farmer into their kitchen. They don't have anywhere to hide this thing. They can't put it in enough drawers. They're walk-ins. I mean, they're living a tight life. But we were doing like a couple hundred chefs a year who would say yes to this because the idea was such a challenge. And they had 90 minutes to break out for 500 people, a 225. So they do 3,000 dishes in 90 minutes, bro. Like, it's unheard of.
Every Christmas we cook a pig, but it takes all day to cook it.
Well, they take all week. They had 7 days to mess with it.
Okay.
And then they show up and get rid of it in 90 minutes.
Wow.
And then I would look at it and we're like, why can't you buy a pig every single week? That's 52 pigs a year from one small family farmer. You're making their year, bro. And they're like, oh, I get it now. You just put me through the reps. Yes, you can make it work. You don't have to do it for an event. Do it every single day. Then you start hearing the excuses, right? Then we start talking about solutions. And on the other side, bartenders didn't even understand my ideas, but I'd be like, all right, smoked old fashions. Remember these things when they started appearing? I'm not like throwing my name in the ring, but there was no existence of these things before I saw it in Hawaii. I was at a bar in Hawaii doing this big Hawaiian Koshan 5 and with this bar, and over in the corner was this torch going shh and blowing up this like drink. I was like, light is in the back. I'm like, what the hell is this? That's going on tour. We did 500 of those in 90 minutes. No one has ever seen that since. So we would put together the most ornate package, mason jar, 8 ounces, lid and napkin printed with the sponsored logo, smoking chips, ice, 2 Luxardo cherries, your 5 different types of bourbon, put it in there, smoke the jar, shake it up, and just get out of my face. And people were just like, what the hell did I just get involved with? So I look at things at scale and how to execute with that moment of clarity. And then like my really soft, subtle one right now is aromatherapy at the events. I really love that.
Aromatherapy at the events.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So when you walk in, we have like an awake area. So like those smudge sticks. So I get 3 different or 4 different types of smudge sticks and I do burn pots around the event. So you walk through it. So every single zone at the event is a different aromatherapy with different foods and drinks attached to it. It's just subconscious shit.
I'm literally looking at 5280.com and the photo that I'm looking at here of these chefs chopping up this freaking pig is like insane.
I mean, we were doing St. Regis, 4 Seasons, Ritz-Carlton, 1 hotel. The best hotels in the country would allow me to come in and butcher a whole pig in the middle of their ballroom. Like nobody's had that like license to do that. And we would do it 20 sometimes a year.
Tell me about your business. So what is it like? What would you say is your specialty? Is it the coaching part of the restaurateurs and the chefs and running their business, stuff like that? Is it the events part? What part? Is it the marketing part? What part of your business would you say is really your sweet spot?
The events is my top of funnel, right? So
Okay.
that's where my event mastery is like kind of put, right? If you come in through the events top, usually I'm like, we're fun, we can hang out. Can I help you in other parts of your business?
Got
If
it.
you don't make it through that first layer, then you kind of spin yourself out of the funnel, and we don't like working with, shit shows. So that has kind of been the narrowing down. If you get to the bottom of the filter, it's really like, how do I help you find where you want to go and be? And, I want to make sure that your business has the marketing tools and the buckets, and you have the vision that keeps your brand legacy if I'm here or not. Like, I get hit by the bus rule. So I don't like this dependency on boutique or big box agencies. I hate it. Like, I hate people feeling like they have to be dependent, and when they leave, they lose everything. So it's like, it's your stuff. You paid for it. So I like building systems that people feel like they have control of it, but we're just good shepherds for it. So that, I don't know, hopefully that answered your question, but
No,
I think the event stuff is good. The marketing stuff is what we do for people we really enjoy.
Makes total sense. And those got to be some fun events too. What's your story, Brady? You started with cigars, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was reading a book in one of my entrepreneurship classes in Iowa, and it said, like something like,
But were you a chef before you started reading this cookbook?
No, I was just a kid, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And every time they said read books, just cookbooks and choose your own adventure stuff. I didn't want nothing else. Was like,
What do you mean what do you mean choose your own adventure stuff? What is that like?
Oh, choose your own adventure was it's like you read 2 pages, and then it was like, all right, you're walking down a weird corridor. You can either go to page 22 or you can go to page 63. And then you flip to page 63 and you're like, oh, you got killed. No, I don't want to do that. And you go to page 21. And it's like, all right, you continue down the corridor and you meet an alien, and the alien asks you a question.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, choose your adventure books, bro. It was the best thing ever.
I've never heard of that. I swear that's the first time I've ever heard of that.
Oh, you could cheat so bad. You could read whatever, like you just always skip ahead. Cliff notes, hangers.
Okay. So, when I was young too, I always wanted to be a chef too. Like it was kind of a thing. I loved helping my mom at the cook dinner. I still like to cook to this day. I never ended up taking that path, but it was something that I was actually thinking about. Did you ever go to become a chef? Did you ever go to cooking school? Did you ever run your own restaurant as well?
Oh, that's a different story.
Okay.
Yeah, I gave my money away. But I was just like you, bro. Like I wanted to be a chef. I wanted to cook. And then I realized for me to do that, I would have to give up my love for it maybe a little bit and make it like a job. Then I was like, nope. I was like, I'd rather just be able to cook when I want to cook, what I want to cook, and no one tell me what the hell to do and when to show up. And, I was like, I want to love what I love. And I'm a fat kid at heart. So,
Not anymore.
That's why this 16 days is so tough.
For those that don't know, anybody that's following me knows that I've had a little bit of a transformation, and Brady's in the suck right now. What day are you in the 16-day cleanse?
10.
It doesn't get any better, by the way. It doesn't.
No. It's commitment though. That's what's important.
No, it is. It took me 3 tries. I confess. The first 2 first time I think I made it to day 4. Second time I think I went to day 10. And I think something came up and I just broke it. Didn't have the food or whatever. And then it took me 3 tries to actually get to the 16. And I just did 7 when we first chatted. It was easy. Honestly, I enjoyed it. Yeah, so I guess it just gets easier.
All right, so did you stay on it? Did you add a little salt here and there, a little lemon, a little oil, nothing?
No, bro, it's just 16 days. Suck it up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all right, I can put eggs with the tomatoes in the pan, right? If it's tomatoes and eggs day, I can have tomatoes and eggs.
You're not supposed to cook the tomato. You're not supposed to cook the eggs. Well, I'm sorry, it has to be hard boiled or soft boiled. I don't even know how to soft boil.
Oh, this is scrambled, but yeah, I think.
No, I don't think, unless he changed it.
Oh, he changed it. It can be soft boiled, poached, scrambled.
I don't think it says scrambled. You got to read that again. Soft boiled, poached, and hard boiled.
Oh, choose your own adventure, bro.
There you go. All right, so tell me more about your journey. I want to know about the cigars. I want to know, how did you get here? And let's face it, I'm gonna give you the cutthroat question. What makes you qualified to help me as a restaurateur scale my restaurant? But tell me your story first.
Yeah. So, all right, great question. I'll lead there. So cigars. This was back in the day when cigars were hitting their height. This is 97, 98. I'm in college and I'm working Saturday mornings at a cigar store. I'm selling crazy shit too. Ashtons, Diamond Crowns, like Opus, like the fun cigars, Fuentes. So I helped my buddy scale his Fuente business because they had a really interesting model. And the money that I made from all the cigars, I would go buy wine. And then I took the wine up to college with me in the back of my Audi, and I'd basically like try to hang out with people and no one really wanted to drink wine. So I found the girls were the audience to drink wine with. And I'm like, let's drink some red Zinfandel. It's the highest alcohol wine. This thing was like biodynamic and made with ladybugs and shit like that. Everyone was like, oh, cool. So the girls and I, like, that was where I became my little wine pusherman. And then when I got out of school, I came down to Atlanta and I wanted to get into marketing. The interviews I went to sucked, and I gave up that and got into hospitality, which I was already in. And within a year and 10 months, I started Taste Network in 2002. And that's when I started going into people's wine cellars. I was doing 2 or 3 private experiences a month, and box of wine, box of cheese, someone's house. Hey, can you stay for dinner and do more? Yeah, just cover my food cost. They got too big, like 14 more people, I'd make a huge mess. So I got the chefs. So I started working with chefs. Then about 2008, then the tour for Cochon Via 5. That's when the economy took a dump. That's when I reinvented no business into a big business, be a small fish, big pond, or whatever that saying is, and I created this brand and took it from a grain of salt to like 30 million in the last 20 years. Sold it, exited, went through hell, came back, all that kind of stuff. So
you sold it completely and then you bought it back?
Didn't buy it back. I just built my business back. Like, I had the process and the systems in play, and it was just like, it was a 6-month boost. And I just had to I turned in my resignation. I didn't like the team, and I went straight on to what I was going to do next.
You didn't have a non-compete that you had to sign?
Yeah. I was in the, I know. Yeah. I no.
But it was wine. You were doing something
but there was no control of me. Like,
yeah.
It wasn't me who was, in a unique position. It was me who was in the right position. So I had the opportunity to basically, like, there was no chasing me. Like, I had my rules.
I'm curious, how did you manage to get through COVID? How was that? Because I'm assuming, because the restaurant business must have gotten hit hard, right?
Well, all right. So I exited the restaurant, or the tour company, right? The Cochon stuff. And then I took part of that fund and I built a restaurant. Got that restaurant open in 2019. February 2019, we had our first $1,000 day. Or no, I'm sorry.
2020.
February of 2020 or late January, first $1,000 day. And then it was downhill. And we opened in August. But interesting story, I built the restaurant for Super Bowl and paid it off in Super Bowl with just events. And it went dormant for 6 months. Then I opened it as a restaurant. Then COVID took it. And at that point, I was a food distribution point for small family farmers, helping them find people who needed food because stores were shitty. We were moving food. Like, there was just like, that was, so I found my purpose and I found some opportunities during COVID to help others. And that's what we landed on. And then right at the onst of that, like, we picked up this really big client in Spain, and we focused all on agency stuff and just lifted it back out.
Did you sell the restaurant too?
I had to close it. Bad landlords, not a good system, no visibility. Downtown was hurting because of COVID.
Where?
Atlanta.
How was COVID? How was Georgia? I haven't heard much. It's.
I think Wild West. I think it was a little Florida,
So they were pretty open with stuff.
Yeah. I think people just kind of like did their thing, and there was some partakers of like, stay away from me, and then there was people that were like, let's just go party.
Yeah. So it seems like you are very passionate about building relationships and really, really building communities. I think that's fantastic how you've been able to do that, because you're not only like you're you're helping wineries, you're helping farms, you're helping chefs, you're bringing all these people together. I mean, that's probably the number one reason for your success.
Yeah, I mean, pillar, I would say community. Like I owe it all to my community. Like I ain't shit without it. And I've given up, like I've shared the calorie circus with a lot of people, and they know that I care about where the food comes from and I care about their health. And I want them to eat better and know where better food comes from and how to support the right people growing the right stuff. So that reputation has helped a lot, but relationship equity is a huge piece of, picking that up much earlier in my life.
Tell me about MAGS for Ag. Is that right?
Yep.
It's preparing the next generation of farmers to solve critical industry challenges.
So right now we know that there's it's called the Great Tsunami, but basically we're losing farmers at an accelerated rate. We need kids who are going to be able to be farmers. When we grew up, I'm going to be, half a century soon. It was, I want to be a farmer. I want to be a dentist. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a fireman. I want to be a doctor, right? These were like the 5 on a hand of kids' choices. Today, it's not that. And nobody wants to take over the parents' farms and liquidations and all that. There's just so much issue right now with commodities and such. So nobody's really interested in being farmers anymore. And it's going to hurt in 30 to 40 years, really bad. It's still consolidated.
Isn't it that the topic in one of my favorite movies where he goes into the other universe and then it's Matthew McConaughey. Oh my God, I can't think of the name of it right now. Interstellar. Yeah. In the beginning of that movie, they're like in need of farmers because they need to grow food because there's no more food in the world anymore.
Yeah, I mean it's the byproduct of interest, and I think we're just so MAGS for Ag, to answer that, was big bottles, great cause, nice dinners. Let's just talk in the room about how important it is that we have kids get into farming, because winemakers and chefs need farmers, winemakers need farmers, right? And their kids don't want to do it. So a winemaker who wants to build a legacy wants to have people who are going to be interested in farming. And they need these kids right now, 3 to 7 years old, to get interested. So when they become 20, 21, that they want to go grow grapes, or they want to go grow grains, or they want to go grow vegetables that the chefs need, right? So MAGS for Ag was big bottles, big cause, big reasons. Let's play, let's talk. Let's just start a conversation. Get me in a room and let's just have a chat. So we had corporate entities who'd be like, hey, we got 20 grand, let's do a dinner. We got 15 people, let's have a real conversation about this. And that's all it was, just straight up awareness in the room. And we'd have the winemakers bring MAGS and they tell a story. It's just fun.
And how do we inspire the next generation to become farmers?
Make it accessible, right? So we built a campaign during COVID called Grow a Farmer. And it was essentially, how do you put it onto a phone, right? And it became this concept. I called it a bloom moment. And when you bloom, it's when the light goes off in a kid's head that they found something that's them and it's their identity and that they can run with it. And I was talking to a football player for the Jets, and he is like, we were sitting to have dinner, and he's like, man, I'll tell you a story. So my mom, I always wanted to grow a garden. My mom would never let me grow a garden. So I just went inside and I stole all the vegetables outside of I just took them all out of the fridge and the crisper, and I just went and buried them in a pile in the backyard.
That didn't work very well.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I just buried them in the yard. And like 3 months later, there's just this big bush and there's food coming off it. My mom was yelling out the window, like, what the hell did you do? And he remembers the moment that he harvested all that and they had one night, one dinner, which is all the food that he grew. That is a bloom moment. And how do you mass produce blooms in that age group? So that was what Grow a Farmer was all about. So that's where I had all this extra time during COVID. That's what I built a whole campaign around. And then, we just got busy again. But I've been sharing that with people just to help them kind of see a bigger, picture around them and what their systems are.
Well, What about AI? How
love
are you introducing AI into the industry, and what about in farming too?
AI in farming is hard right now for me to like comprehend, but I'll tell you from a hospitality industry, like you talked about like getting into a restaurant or helping someone get into a restaurant. Here's how AI is in my space today. It is a AI tsunami coming, okay? You either adapt or you don't adapt, so you have a choice. If you rely on your business to have a website, PR, or some kind of traffic exposure and social media content, those are your three, right? Your website is your ground floor, and then you have your two ladder legs that go up, which I call the stilts. If you don't have a CRM tool and understand what either sell by chat or engagement is and a CRM tool, you're sitting on stilts, and that tsunami is going to knock you the hell over. So you will not ever stabilize the storm that's coming in. And if you either adapt now, so I call it, all right, so let's say you get a CRM tool. That's the stopper that goes in the bathtub. Now what do? You have a bath and you start doing engagement and you start reaching out to people and you say, hey, Vince, thank you so much for the follow, the like, the comment. I see that you're a husband and I see that you have an amazing business in helping people exit where they want to be. It looks like, man, you had a great meal there tonight. Just keep shining. Have a good one. And just do that with every single person. It takes 10 to 15 seconds to scan that and do that engagement and build it 1% at a time. If you're not willing to do that and then all those people fall into a CRM tool to support your system, that's engagement. That's our future. There's going to be a connection between AI, connection, and engagement. And you'll never be able to replace connection and engagement, that personal connection. And people are going to be starving for it. In 6 months, it's going to double in 12 months and triple in 18. People are going to want you to touch them in a very personal way and make you feel seen.
Are you so passionate about this because you just like AI like I do, or is it a problem in the industry, in the hospitality industry, where people aren't adopting it?
It's a huge problem. I love solving problems, right? And yeah, I like AI, but I have a hard time explaining it to my mom, my cousin, my friends, my buddies, like, how are you using it? But I want to pick the big conversation. Think about it like this. You go follow a restaurant online, you like a dish, you got ghosted. Like you followed them, never a cricket. Except when they want to sell you a ticket or come to our special event, they might reach out to you. It's backwards. Like if you treated somebody when they walk into your business that way, then you're in the wrong place. So if I were to look at like opening a restaurant again, and I guarantee you I get invites and sponsors or like investor decks quite often. Let me see your marketing budget. Let me see what you're doing. Let me see how you're going to spend marketing each month. That's all I care about. Everyone can throw a pitch deck together and put some pro forma in there, and it's all bullshit. How you're going to treat your guests as humans and make them feel like they're part of a community is number one, right?
So you've integrated AI into your workflow, I'm sure. What's walk me through the 3-question weekly ritual that you have, and how does that change your operations?
It's hard, it's hard to get your team. I actually sat with Dan Martell and I told him this, and he's just like, he's like, wow, but you ask the question like, how'd I show up this week? And you tell them what you did. You give them a little bit of wins, a little bit of loss, and you speak honestly to AI, right? So you give them their own GPT agent, and then it's basically their reporting tool, and it takes 10 minutes. And you basically like, hey, Vince, so you're on my team. What I need you to do this week after 40 hours is I just need you to like, here's what I did this week. Here's what I liked. Here's what I didn't like, blah, 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 blah. Then the next question is, how can I be more accountable to my company and help them raise revenues? That question you ask, you respond, and you have to you ask that question, it's going to tell you. And every week that you do it, you're going to build that character. So they keep going back to that same thread and those same 3 questions. And every week it just learns more about that person and helps them see, how can you be more accountable? How can you help the team? What do you like about it? What don't you like? And then you can ask a couple of really interesting questions every quarter. but I don't have to be the one putting them in the room. I just need to get them to understand that it's really important for them to be honest with AI and know how to talk to it.
Wait, you got, again, visual person. I can't visualize this. Wait, so you created a GPT that you shared with your team, that the GPT asks these questions to you. So to you, and then as you share with your team, it asks it to obviously each individual member of your team. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
And how has it helped?
Find out who's into it and who's not into it.
How do you find out?
I just built it. I just wanted to do it. I just wanted to have some.
But you don't get the results of their answer.
No. So when you're done with it, I mean, it's business based, right? So when they're done with it, all they have to do is take share chat and drop that into a spreadsheet. So like this week, their name, and they do, I did it. And it takes 10 minutes to go through this questionnaire. It's 3 questions, and they put their link in there. And if I wanted to go see how they did this week, then I can get a quick little update from what's going on in their conversation, but they share that conversation.
Wait a minute. I love this.
All
If
right.
I'm understanding it correctly. Let me start from scratch again. You created a GPT that asked you 3 questions, one by one, you answer it. You shared that GPT with each individual member of your team. You require that your team use this GPT once at the end of every week and share the results to a spreadsheet that you have access to.
Yep.
What were the questions again?
One of them spaced out, but you have the one that's accountability. How can I be more accountable to you?
Can you share this with me?
Yeah, I'll create it. I'll share it out. But the best part about this, bro, is what it's built on. Like, I love building agents. Like, that's
Agents or GPTs?
GPT agents. I call them agents. That's what
Okay.
I mean. So yeah, so I go in. I've got, and I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk.
I've got like 12 of them.
Yeah, but I have all the books that we want. You know, I got the whole Alex Hormozy stacked. There's just like little memory slots right in the back of that knowledge base, and you just architect what's in their knowledge base, and then you give it the instructions, and it's just getting better and better. And you know, like yesterday, I just asked my team. I was like, hey, so I want to do a brainstorm in my car on my way home, and I wanted to email the SOP to this folder and then alert you that it's there. She's like, okay, I'll create that for you. So she did the zap and made it happen. I'm like, now I could just drive in the car and hit a conversation and tell GPT to like send it to my folder SOP, and that person gets the email saying that SOP is there. Like, it's nutso.
Whoa, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the zap.
So you want to do a fun question? Have you ever asked GPT to categorize how advanced you are for using it? Like, just say like, hey, so where would you put me on a 1 to 10 from beginner to advanced? And say like, what could I do better? I mean, it's crazy. It says like, it will go through your whole history and memory and just basically like tell you like,
I gotta admit,
level up.
that's the issue I'm having right now is my memory is full.
You have to go delete stuff.
I know. It says at the top, saved memory full. Like, what the fuck do I do? I don't want to delete it.
You're on
all.
the $20 version, the same one on the plus thing?
Yeah.
Or did you go big one?
I did the $200 for a while, but I found that it wasn't any better. Is it better? I get more memory for the $200 or?
Nah, I didn't do it. I don't need it.
So what do I do with my memory?
So you go into memory.
Uh-huh.
And it's a purge, right? So there's stuff in there that you ask, just like stupid questions. I mean, I do it all the time when I'm out having drinks with buddies. I'm like, hey, blah, 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 watch this, guys. And they're like, so it memorizes that stuff and thinks because it's brand new content that's a direction for you. So it'll store that as memory. And then you got this like stupid thing about insane clown posse, right?
Right.
And it's like history levels of it. You're like, no, dude. So you go in and you delete those memories that are your core memories that you wanted to know about you.
But how do you find it?
You just ask it. You say, where's my memories? And I want to clean them out because.
Got it. I'll do that.
Yeah.
All right. This is not.
But it's in the little thing. It's like where your name is at the bottom underneath all your chats, I think.
Got it.
It's down there. It's where your little picture is. And then you get in there. You have Did you see the connections that they just put in there with 5?
No, I haven't.
Bro.
It's a lot.
So connections. Connections, you can go in there and you can add your Dropbox, your Drive, your Gmail, everything. It can connect and read all of your files.
Nice.
Yeah, it's...
All right, we don't have to get into that. Let's talk to entrepreneurs a little bit.
Yeah.
I got a good question here. What's the most powerful example that you've seen of making someone feel seen and the ripple effect that it's had? Yeah, I know you've got a pretty decent sized team. You seem like you are like a relationship focused person, making sure that, what do you call it, relationship equity? I think that's fantastic. What's the most powerful example you've seen of just someone just making them feel seen?
So I was trying to get, like a couple new people on this concept of engagement with social media, right? I had this event called Peach Fest in Atlanta, and I'm like, hey, hey ladies, I need you to really step up. So I have a PR team that I hired. I had a photographer. I had an assistant, and I gave them all the same engagement playbook. 2 out of 3 did nothing. The third one basically went in and she's like, how do I do this again? I'm like, watch how you do these compliments. As soon as she started doing these shining compliments on people, the responses were outstanding. People were like, oh my God, that's so nice. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, it was just a waterfall, and it made her feel that she was doing a job besides just bullshit. You know what I mean? And she goes, I really get it now. I really do understand why we want to do this, because it makes me feel good to farm this stuff. And that makes someone else feel good. It makes her feel good. That gives her, and now she'll probably end up doing it on her own. It's that type of stuff, man. And I wish there was more of that, but it's an indicator that people are really hungry for it. But I liked what it did for her because she saw the result, and I could see she was happy about it.
I've been on a tip since just honestly, like you, since being coached by Dan, of really empowering my team. And it's been so much fun doing it. And I never used to do that. Man, Brady, I've been an entrepreneur for 16 years. And I could honestly tell you that before a year and a half ago, I would hold back because I felt that giving too much information, coaching my team too much, teaching them too much, I subconsciously felt that if I did it too much, that they would up and leave. So I'll give you a perfect example. My executive assistant, Mariana, she reached out to you. She's amazing. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Guess what? She's got a cool little side hustle, right? She sells scarves. She lives in Mexico. She sells scarves that actually it's a lot of for bull riding and stuff. Not bull riding, the one that ole, in Spain and stuff.
Bullfighting.
Bullfighting, yeah. So she sells these scarves online. She's had this business for ever, and we're talking about it, and I'm giving her all this advice to she had an old VA to hire her again, and here's what you do the loom. I told her, I said, just copy exactly how we do everything so you could start scaling that company, and I'll help you do that. Old me, Brady, would have been like, well, no, I don't want her to do that because then she's not going to be a good assistant, that she's not going to have enough time for me. Where new me is just no, fuck that. You're kicking ass. As long as you're performing, what do I care? Let me even help you do that because you're passionate about it. It's going to generate more revenue for you. And I don't know. I asked you that question and then you started talking about that and then it made me think about that. This is not my show. I'm not the guest. You're the guest, but I just wanted to share that because I know that you and I are being influenced right now by, a lot of the same things. And it's just really cool mindset that I've just been wanting to share. I've been sharing it because this happened 2 days ago. It's the second time I share it. And I just wanted to share it with you.
And I think it's a very powerful mindset. And I agree, man. I was not that way 5-6 years ago. I'm paying you, do it my way. And otherwise bring me something so smart that I know that you overthought it, right? Don't just throw ideas out in the middle of the field, and now it's I think it is that mindset, belief creator, whatever is that.
Yeah.
What is important to them? Knowing their dreams and their visions and helping them find it with the skills that you have. That's number one, right? And that is one of the big curves that I have right now in my life is, and I want you to share this with her and I want to share it with you, is I mean, I've paid a lot of money to get into coaching, to understand how coaching works, how funnels work, et cetera, the whole system, right? And I've been in a ton of masterminds. Like, it's a huge investment for me, and you're in that space. We love it. Like, we're trying to grow. We're trying to be the best we can, trying to share it with others. And I think what I notice is that I was trying to decide what my USP is and what my focus is and what I was going to do to help everybody. And I realized that it was really just the vision. It was having that North Star. When somebody told me about North Star, that changed it all. And if I can do one thing and you can do something for her, is to help her see where that North Star is and how to get there with some of the mistakes that we've made and make it a little bit less painful for her, I am all in. I mean, that's what the day should be built on, Hey, and that's the way I used to teach was, don't do what I did because I messed up. So I'm going to protect you. And I want to shelter you, do it my way, versus just show them what the result is and help them get there, And
we were thinking about bringing on a SEO freelancer. And it was a 15-minute call we had with them. And I invited my whole marketing team, it's 3 of them, which is something I probably wouldn't have done. Right. All of them got input, right? We talked to the guy, hung up, we met right after, we discussed it, and everybody had their thoughts and opinions on it. And then my one guy who does my YouTube SEO, basically, anyway, he started talking, and then at the end of it, I said, his name's Zenga, I said, Zenga, it's your call. And he goes, what? Like, it's your call. You wanna bring him on? It's your call. So, he was like, wow, like you empower them, man. It's the best. I love it. It's the best thing that I've done. Last question.
Yeah.
All right. So it's a good question, I think. I am under the impression that when you're going to laugh, I kind of believe in fuck passion. Here's why. I believe that if you follow your passion, I think it's good and you could end up making millions, but sometimes your passion isn't really the revenue driver. I believe sometimes you sort of fall into things that off the bat make a lot of money or has the potential to make a lot of money, and then you sort of find your vehicle and your passion while you're doing that thing. And if that passion doesn't come about, then obviously you end up doing something different. And my last question is, how do you feel that how do you balance purpose-driven work with the financial realities of running a business? Because I'm assuming you speak to a lot of people and coach a lot of people who are just in it because they love it and this is my passion and this and that. How do you feel people can balance that purpose-driven work from the financial realities?
So I've got something called the triple P, and I got a triple D, but the triple P, and you just made me want to rewrite it. It's passion, predictable, profits. If it's predictable and you can make sure that you take your passion enough to make sure that what you're going to do can create predictable profits, you have solved the trifecta, right?
It's hard though.
Right. What gets in the way?
Well, why do you want to rewrite it now? Did I just destroy it?
No, because it was so hard. Mine was like the programmatic predictable profit game. I mean, it's a hard one. Like, it doesn't roll all the tongue, but passion, predictable profits, that makes sense because people get into things because they're passionate about something they believe in, a problem or a puzzle that they're going to solve for someone, but they don't do the predictable part. They don't figure out the predictable outcomes and make it inevitable that they're going to be profitable. That is where people sleep. And if you overthink and overpredict and do everything you need to do, then I think you have the case for support is that even if something goes wrong, you're still going to make a profit. And I think that's what the most important part is. And that's the way I've done it in my business, except for the restaurant.
For me, a big changer for me is I no longer make decisions out of fear. Or I used to make decisions and I would be like, oh, was that a good decision? And then I take it back and then I change direction and then I do this. Now I'm just like, this is my decision. I used to be very self-conscious about not being a changer, like changing my mind on stuff like that. So, I would always just be very concerned about that. And then I would make a bad decision and I would stick to it because I didn't want to change my mind. Now I'm like, I don't give a shit. I make a decision. If it don't work after a day, we'll make another decision. I want to stick to it, but if it literally doesn't work, then anyway, that's been again another good for me for coaching. So my last question here is, what is the big, crazy, hairy, audacious, ridiculous goal that it's so crazy, Brady? I know you got it. I know you're ready for this. So crazy that it's gonna make me be like, nah. So big that it would be proof that God exists.
I want to get invited on stage to talk about North Star and vision. I want someone really
That's it.
big.
That's not big enough.
If I can click that, I mean, it's not about money. It's everything. All that is self-absorbed for me. But if I could be known as vision guy.
All right, vision guy.
Vaynerchuk is known as X. Martell is known as X. You know what I mean? Everybody's got like Musk is X. It's what are people going to remember? And right now it's vision guy. Like I want to help people find that North Star so they can go. And I want to help a lot of people in the next 10 years. That's my goal.
I think
if I can do that, thousands and thousands and thousands of people. If I got 1 million people following, and like literally, like I built this like whole like I love the AI stuff, but I built a whole North Star USP agent playbook. It really helps people. Like it'd be great for Mariana. It'd be great for people have ideas. It's like put it through the ringer, and then you got the tool that helped get you 95% there. The other 5% is you, bro. And if I can get that out to 1 million people, that's the big hag in the room, bro.
Well, if you could start with just me, the GPT would be cool.
Yeah, done.
I think you can go bigger though, Brady. I don't know, bigger than that. We got to go big. Big. I'm going to speak next to Dan.
That's it. Yeah. If I get invited to jump on with Dan to talk about that's cool. But it's, like his is Tony Robbins or,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just the food game. I'm just not like the food game doesn't get me anymore. It was cool to like eat at all these restaurants and do the stuff. But now it's like, I don't know. I just want to help people not make mistakes that I made and just get the word out.
Yeah, but sometimes it's the only way. They gotta get a taste of it themselves. All right, Brady. Well, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate you coming on. So you've got 6 days left here of your cleanse. What's for dinner tonight?
Oh,
is it cottage cheese or is it
dairy, bro.
Is it fish?
I get 3 eggs and some black coffee and a raw salad.
Nice.